Hello, hello, hello. We are back for Kenosis Chronicles. I have literally been working kind of behind the scenes, if you will, to literally build and to come out with some music that I've been thinking about and conceptualizing for pretty much my entire life. And now I've been afforded the opportunity to basically materialize that and actualize that in that of 2021. So I actually have been sitting on the music for a couple of months, and I didn't do anything with it at the time. I decided to wait until the new year to get things going. So earlier, some of you saw this particular video that my mother put out, and matter of fact, I think I'm going to go and find it, and I'm going to allow for her to talk for a little while, and I'm going to go and find it, and then it can be played. So you all can see what it is that I'm talking about. But literally, that just kind of sparked an idea of having a conversation about music, having a conversation about royalties, having a conversation about what it takes to actually put out musical content, and how to do it in the proper manner and in the right way. So this is also a fun conversation as well. So if you do want to chime in and talk about the song or talk about the music, feel free to do so. I'm not afraid of criticism. I appreciate the criticism, and in actuality, I welcome it because it helps us to stay sharp and to continue to do what we need to do. So, thank you for everybody who's sharing and tagging people to get in here and inviting others to have this conversation. Again, if you desire to have the link, you can inbox me or you can put it in the comments and say, "Hey, I want to get in and have a conversation with you about music or whatever the case may be." This is an interactive experience. And we're just coming together just to talk and to have a good time and have some fun and talk about music. And so the single Kenosis by Rhythmic Radical is available on all digital platforms. And Mom, I'm gonna let you take it away, and then we're gonna go to your video after this.
No, don't go to my video,
Yeah,
sir.
no, we're gonna go to the video after this because we need for the people to be blessed by the
Praise
word.
the Lord. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Wait, you and this mic, like what?
Well, I wanted to have my mic.
Why do you have this mic? As if we can't already hear you. You already loud. We
I'm going to do that.
see. Listen.
Be encouraged, sir. Don't let the
So,
enemy use you in this season, okay?
God bless you. Anyway, go ahead, Doc.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're so glad to have you all here with us today. I'm just super excited. I am super juiced, all of the above, that my son is taking music to a whole different platform and a whole different place, if you will, and this instrumental music thing that he's doing. And I am grateful that he gets to express that through his own single. Listen, it's a blessing to watch your child develop over the years and then step out and do some things that he's wanted to do. And that's one of the things he's been wanting to do for some years now, do his own single. And so it was amazing when we sat down and talked about the concept of it and how it was going to go. And, I'm always looking for singers. So, I'm always thinking that you got to have some singing. Well, sometimes you just need to listen to a little music without all the singing and, sit back and relax and just listen. And so I appreciate the fact that he and one of his friends, Justin Copes, they got together and they went to the studio and they worked it out. And it's a blessing to be able to use your gifts and talents. Well, in our family, we are a musical family. We love music. We love singing together. Many people don't know, though, that I play the organ. People know I play the organ, but a lot of people did not know that. I play the organ and I play piano, and I also play the drums. When I was in, what grade was I in? I want to say about the fifth grade. I took the cello in school because I wanted to see what it was like to play that humongous bass. And I did pretty good, but I couldn't carry that, around with me, and I could never take it home to practice. So I had to give that up. But the piano worked, and the piano still works today. And so I'm just grateful that my son has taken up this aspect of music and is sharing his gift of drumming with the world. He's a fanatical drummer. He's a radical drummer. So he has the right title, Rhythmic Radical, because, the power of God will hit him in service and he forgets that he's playing for the service and he just goes smooth in on the drums and then gets up and praises God. And it's just a beautiful thing to see a young man that's excited about what he does and that he's doing it as unto the Lord. The Lord blessed him with the gifts. The Lord blessed him with the talents. And to see him using it is just so incredible. Being his mother, I know I look like I'm his sister, but don't worry about it. It's okay. And I got my purple mic and everything, and my purple lipstick. What happened? Move your face out the place, Doc. I'm still talking. Did you hear me on my mic? And so I'm just grateful to be able to share this platform with him. Normally, it's vice versa. He's sharing the platform with me and I'm in the lead role. But today I'll take a back seat and let him do his thing because God is blessing and God is using him mightily in all areas of his life. And so I appreciate it. I hope you don't get the audio to work. Yeah, but I am curious because I'm a comedian, and at the end of the day, I love God and I love what I do, and I love to see other people go forth in the gifts and talents that they are blessed with. There are a lot of people sitting on their gifts. There are a lot of people sitting on their talent, and they don't know how to go about getting it done. And COVID has showed a lot of people that you
Bishop, you
really
gonna
got
tap
to go
in?
back to the drawing board.
You gonna tap in?
You really got to go back to the drawing board and get it done. You've got to go now. You can find everything on YouTube, people. So go find what you need. Reach out to people that are doing what you want to do and tap in and get it done. This is the season of getting it done, people. We don't have to wait till we go back outside to get stuff done. There are ways and avenues to get it done. Listen, I've worked on projects where I never left the house. I never left my house. It's just a beautiful thing when you can send send the tracks and send those things via Dropbox, and you download it and you put it on your computer, and you get in the studio on your computer and you lay that track, and then you bounce it down, and then you send that track on back and let them handle it from there. But there are ways to get it done. Make sure your music is covered. Get it copyrighted. Send it to Washington. You can do it online, copywritten, copywriting, wrote it, whatever. Get it done. Protect yourself. It's important. Get with a publishing company. Do your own publishing if you want to. I mean, this is the time of the creatives. And so, hey, go as far as you can with your ministry, with your music, until you can get to where you really want to be. Um, People aren't given contracts and things like they used to. And so you just have to be that independent artist and complete that single and do what you can to market it, get it out there. So many different platforms now that can be used to help you get your music out there and get yourself out there. And so take every advantage while you're at home. Take advantage. It's so important that you do what God has given you to do and God has ordained you to do. So, so very important. And yeah, and so I don't know why he's still letting me talk, but I'm gonna keep talking. He didn't pull me up. Okay, I had on my other hat. I switched out my hats. Amen. Mm-hmm. I can't get it to play. Start. Take three. I have been listening to Kenosis. This song that my son released into the kingdom. When I tell you that thing has blessed me, I was up all night just listening to it. I had it on repeat. I prayed for the artist. I prayed that the Lord would cover him in his project, that it would bless many and many more. Amen. And so therefore, I want him to be all the way encouraged. Listen, let me tell you something. It takes tenacity and skill to put forth music in this season, especially in COVID, when we all got to be in the house. I'm very proud of him, and I want him to know that. Dominique, I want you to know that I'm proud. Oh! I was serious, and you started laughing. Why you laughing, Doc? Be encouraged. I want him to know that I'm proud. He worked hard, put in a lot of hours. Him and Bishop Justin Copes, they worked it on out. First time that I personally have heard a bass and drum project without any other instrumentation. I thought it was very clever. I thought it was very ingenious. I thought it was very good. I'm going to shout to it. Just got to work on it. See what the end's going to be. Amen? I'm going to get my shout on. But I want them to know that I'm proud of them for just stepping out on faith and just doing what they love to do and create memories and things of that nature. So go with God. Go with you, amen. You all have a blessed one. Bye-bye. You just have to play the video.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I didn't invite Bishop on. Told him to come on in. So you know,
Well,
this is Bishop Justin Copes. If y'all don't know him,
take the
this is
bishop off.
this.
Just Justin
Listen,
Coates.
no, this is the guy here. If you were trying to figure out who was playing the bass on that song, if you haven't listened to it yet, go and listen to it. He is the one who is playing the bass predominantly on there. And man, this, to be honest, this is one of my favorite bass players on the planet. So like we grew up playing together in like choirs and like at church, and I hated him because he used to have these black suede shoes at Ephesians Church of God in Christ, and half of the shoe was suede and the other half was leather, and I had a problem with his shoes.
Pre two
But we,
thousands.
we we let that that issue go on by the wayside, and now we here. You feel me? So, bro, explain to the people how long you've been playing the bass, like all that, because people don't know. You've been playing the bass for quite a while, quite a few years. You feel me? So, go ahead.
Couple moons, man. Well, to be honest, it depends on how you want to categorize it. I guess you could say professionally, maybe 10 years, but I struggled with it for a good 10 before that,
Yeah.
and it just maturated over time. And it's ironic that we're talking about this now. I just learned how to start reading charts yesterday. The band that I'm playing with now kind of introduced me to it because I was kind of afraid of it for years. Like, man, I don't know what this is, all these different symbols and all this type of stuff. I've
Right.
always played by ear, which I think the majority of church musicians or musicians in the gospel sector kind of do anyway. They just learn by ear, learn the number system, and go from there. You know what I'm saying? So, and you kind of develop your own sound over time. But as far as what we did, that was kind of just cultivated on the spot. I remember being in the studio and you just like, bro, play this. And then the chords, and it was like, okay, so you know the chord progression. You want me to play that? I'm going to play that verbatim. And then it just came together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
cool.
No, it was a cool experience. Like, um, kind of improvising in that sense, because literally, like, we have been talking about doing something for like the last probably what 2 years or something.
Easy.
um as far as putting out some music, and we just didn't know what it was going to be, you know what I mean? So now it's to the point to where, like, now we're moving into like what we've been planning and what we've been thinking about and what we want to do, and now just taking things to the next level as far as doing stuff on a drum and bass tip. So I know for a fact, like, in the kingdom we don't often have a lot of kind of different forms of expression of music, because a lot of the time it's kind of always kind of, it got to be either this way or that way, or this is what acceptable, this is not acceptable. And so to now push into something different and to bring something new to the table, I think is dope. And so, yeah, he helped me on my project. I'm also helping him on his project as well. And he has music that'll be coming out relatively soon, so stay tuned for that as well. And yeah, man, I'm just excited. I just wanted you all to kind of have this opportunity. And again, I did post a link on my Facebook page. So if you wanted to tap in and kind of jump in on the conversation, you can as well. But yeah, we just want to talk about music and the experience of putting out music and just bringing a different sound sonically to not just the Bay Area, excuse me, but to the world at large. So yeah, man, I'm excited. So now my mother has this purple microphone,
Praise the
and I
Lord.
don't know. I don't know what's going on with this purple microphone
Praise
at
the
all.
Lord.
But it's a trip. Oh, matter of fact, here go one of the saints right here. Ankh, what's going on with you?
What is really going on? Who's in the bed?
Ankh, what's going on with you, Ankh? We
Oh,
see you.
Lord.
He didn't look. He didn't tap in.
Hey, you nephew.
What's going on, Ankh?
You're not supposed to tap in the bed,
I'm
though.
I'm here so I can hear this song of yours.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I
I
appreciate it,
support
man.
you. You know I'm gonna support my nephew.
Oh yeah, of course, of course. How you been, man? You been all right? You been hanging in there?
Most definitely, most definitely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So what did you like about the song?
I haven't heard it, so I'm definitely plugging up so I can listen to it.
Okay, well,
So
listen to it
I'm
for
going
for
so I
four
can
minutes.
listen to it.
Listen to it for 4 minutes, and then come back in and tell me how you like it.
Okay, I sure will.
Okay, it's all good. We'll see you in a minute. Look. See, there you go. So yeah, anybody else who wants to tap in, clearly we letting people in the room. We ain't tripping off none of the, normally it's formal, it's kind of closed off. You can't get in. Today we just having some fun, having an interactive experience where people can kind of chime in and explain, and just talk about music. I know Uncle Ernest Days texted me earlier today, and he was saying that he definitely liked the fact that it was a drummer's album or a song. And so I know for me, like, listening into a lot of drummers' music, when they do put out drum albums, it's not always centered around the drummer itself, and I think it's because of the way music is done in general. Because drummers don't often get to express themselves. You kind of have to stay locked in and confined into, you trying to put out content that everybody's willing to accept. So you kind of have to bite the bullet because you don't want to invest so much money to put out something that you really want to put out because you're not sure if people gonna want to play it more than 2 or 3 times because they can't rock their head to it the whole time, right?
Yes, you
So
can.
I mean, in some instances you can, right? But I'm saying like you're doing a bunch of paradiddles and
That's all
flies and all this other
right.
crazy stuff. Like
You do
people
some
don't
snare on
always,
head bop.
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. So you kind of have to do a trade off to where you either are sacrificing the ability to explore for the sake of the groove, right? Or you having to figure out ways to compromise because basically at the end of the day, musicians just trying to put out stuff so they can get more streams and do more music and get more calls back. But for me, I just felt like it needed to be me, like it needed to be what we do because our minds are very weird. Like we we
Yeah.
very like
Super
left
left
individuals
field.
when it comes to music. So I'm not very locked in. Like don't get me wrong. Like I love gospel music and Christian music, but like even within that confines, my ear is very vast. Like I don't just listen to the atypical stuff that everybody's listening to all the time. And so, or I can't say everybody's listened to, but that many in the gospel sense would listen to on a regular basis. I tend to listen with a little bit more of a wider ear. So, and I think it's
Your
cool
ears
because when you
are-
play, I don't know what you just said, Sister Mike, but when you play, you need to change your name to Sister Mike on here,
I
just so
said
we
because
can.
your ears are big.
Well, that's my daddy's fault. But what I'm
Uh oh.
saying is no, like I got a text from Uncle Ernest earlier, and he's one of my hugest inspirations, like musically. So for him to text me and basically say that he enjoyed like what was happening with the music was kind of a big deal for me because he was my musical director for years. Number one, number two, like he definitely used to get on my case on a regular basis. Like, hey, you ain't gotta, you ain't gotta overdo it on that part. Like, lock in on this part, play it now, go in here, right? And then eventually, once I understood his kind of motif, if you will, then it would made it easier for me to like follow along with what he wanted me to do. And that's the other part too. Like when you are the musician and now you have to be the one in the front and you're calling the shots and you kind of producing and arranging the concepts. Now like things is totally different. Um, so yeah, I mean it's a great experience. Now we opted to go through DistroKid. If you don't know anything about DistroKid, DistroKid is a great platform for you to be able to get your music on all digital platforms. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna give some insider information about DistroKid, about Spotify, about all these different platforms. You can't just put the stuff up on DistroKid and leave it. So you you got to figure out ways to be creative in marketing, advertising, like basically pulling things together so that your music can actually be heard. Sometimes you may have to pay for advertising on, especially on social media platforms, so your music can get out there a little further. So, moms, I know you've been doing this way longer than me, right? So explain to people other ways that they can get their music out there, because you probably know like way more than other people because you've been independent for quite a bit. I think all of the time except for what the first 5 years.
Um, well, let me think, because that was a long time ago
That's
now.
what that's listen. That's
Well, when we did Refresh and Fountain Project, that was independent.
right.
And then when I did my when I did my 2-song single cassette,
Ooh, cassette. Throwback.
that was Are You Prepared for Your Destiny?
Right, right.
I wanna know.
Didn't Marcus do that?
That was
Marcus Hodge.
that was Derek Hall.
Mm,
Which song did
okay.
Marcus do? Oh no, he did. He did. What was the other joint that you did? Was it the slow one?
Um,
I thought he did one from that was a while ago. Because
yeah,
that's when Tony Jones still lived in Stockton.
correct. That was a while
So that's
ago.
that's how far back now Tony is playing. He's the MD for Brandy and I think he's doing Casey and JoJo now and somebody else.
Wow.
Um so And then he's in LA a lot too at Noel Jones. He kind of all that. So yeah.
It's a lot of work. It takes dedication. It takes commitment. It takes wanting to make sure your project is right,
Mm-hmm.
regardless. So, you'll have a lot of people that'll listen and they'll be like, oh, that's great. But you might not feel like it's great. So you're going to listen with a different ear. You listen from a different lens, if you will. Different set of ears.
Right. Right. Right.
But you just listen from a different place, and then it helps you to hear the sound that you need to hear,
Mm-hmm.
that God is giving you. Because
Mm-hmm.
some people hear sounds and they're like, oh, I want to do it like that. Or I want to do it like this. Or I want to do it like that. I want to sound like this. I want to sound like that. But God is giving everybody a unique sound.
Right.
And so that's one thing I say to everybody. Use what God has given you in your uniqueness. If he wanted us to all be the same, we would have all been the same.
Right. 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 Right.
So please do that. But as far as the business, of course, I talked about it a little earlier. So
Mm-hmm.
make sure your stuff is protected. Make sure it's
Mm-hmm.
covered. They've made it easier now. You don't have to put it in snail mail. You can download it right on your computer. Go to egov.com for copyright and upload your stuff. Pay the fee. Quit trying to get the hookup. You can't get the hookup from them.
Man, listen.
Yeah. You can't get the hookup from them.
Oh my
They want
goodness.
your money, babies. And
Oh
so
my
pay the
goodness.
fee, be protected, connect with BMI or ASCAP,
Mm-hmm.
whichever. Make sure you're covered. And if you're starting out, do your own publishing. It's okay. And they created these platforms before DistroKid came along. TuneCore was the
Mm-hmm.
music,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to pay so much per selection, if you will. So if you had one song, it was one fee. If you had two or more songs, you were paying for a whole album.
Yep.
Um, and before that, there were other things, but that information was limited because it was only given to like record companies. So a lot of independents just sold them like I did on my part, or got a tape, and signed autographs and things. But I still make the coin. Y'all way too much. Where there's a will, there's a way to get your music out there. But with technology being what it is now, a lot of people don't carry hard copies anymore. Everything is digital. So you have to just study the industry, study what's happening, find those social media platforms that you can capitalize on and get your stuff out there, get your brand out there, get your music out there. And it can be a little tricky if you're just a musician and not a singer.
Right.
So you have to create a lot of content. So you've got to make the videos and you've got to do a lot of that. Singers have to do it as well, but musicians even more. And since we're in the pandemic, people have been able to still manage to get that music in. If they're the only ones at church or what have you, because we've seen that on occasion with one of my good friends. He makes it to his church after you get off the work. Dr. Joe Mack.
I hit up Unc and told him to come through. But I mean, we'll see what happens. So
Yeah, well, praise the Lord. But yeah, go forward. Go as far as you can. I encourage you all to go as far as you can. And when it looks like you can't go any further, find another way to go even further.
yeah.
Because somebody needs what you have. So don't think what you're doing is insignificant or it doesn't matter. It matters. It matters. It matters to people more than you know. And so because you inspire other people that are trying to figure out how to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes all people need to see is somebody else do it. And that gives them the inspiration and the courage to step out. All I need is a mic. I mean, yeah. I don't even need a musician. All I need is a bass. And then I can sit on the keyboard myself. And play
Now I know
myself.
you were saying that you want to get on and play drums with me on the album,
Yeah,
because this is
I
just a
can get
single. So like
that's all right. I'm gonna do my own.
you gonna, so you want you oh so you gonna do your own drum album now?
No, I'm not gonna do my own album. I'm just gonna take a tune or track rather off of my upcoming project, and I'm just gonna do an instrumental song.
Sheesh.
And then I'm gonna jump off the drums, and then I'm gonna get on the bass.
You gonna play the bass?
I'll
Okay,
play
so
the
you
bass, and I'll be able to see because I'm multi-talented.
That's it.
And then I'm gonna play the keyboard, and then I'm gonna play the saxophone.
Horn section.
man. I mean, I know Aaron Green my boy Aaron just came out with his music as well. I don't know if he's watching or not, but if he is, he could
Really,
tap
really,
in if he
okay.
can. But
I need
I
to
know
go
he
get
just came
that.
out with his album, and I believe he did everything at the crib. And like Aaron
Yeah.
has been a huge inspiration for me, like for years on top of years on top of years, especially when it came to playing drums, because he kind of took me under his wing. So between him and my boy Mark McGee, McGee was the dude who we was at Skyline
Right.
Jazz Festival, and and
Sheesh.
I'll never forget, like we
Throwback.
was playing. It was me, Genesis Rubin, and my boy Darian Wagner, and we was Oakland Tech's like jazz band for years. And so we get to Skyline, and of course they got like a 40-piece orchestra. They got flutes, and we got three pieces. That's it, and a saxophone player who would occasionally show up when he wasn't asleep. And so, yeah, man, like literally, we went to Skyline Jazz Festival. We played our two little original songs, and we decided to do our version of Footprints. And then like Mark was like, "Hey, bro, like you got to come to the church with me. Like let's shed." And I'm like, "What is shedding? Like I'm 15. I don't know what you're talking about." So literally that summer I turned 16, and Mark was like, "Bro, I have the keys to my church, so we can go up there any time." And Moms was so cool. Moms was just like, where you going? I'm about to go to the church and play drums. Okay, I'll see you later. Sometimes Mark would drop me off, bro. I'm 16, March. Mark would drop me off back at the crib, probably sometimes at 2 o'clock in the morning. We didn't got to the church at 8 a.m. Like, why am I getting home at 2 o'clock in the morning from playing drums? Like, dude, he hey, this how you do it, and you do this and do the flams and do the this and that and start with your left hand and all the. Listen, by the time that summer was over, bro, I had played with some of everybody in the Bay Area, like TZ, Q, like Joey Bumpers back in the day. I think Carlin came through at one point. It was so many different guys who. This is when Beat Rock was still playing drums. So
Ooh.
like,
Going back.
so see, that's what I'm saying. Like, cats don't remember those times. This when Joseph Richards and Johnny Hughes are still playing drums, right? So this is like way, 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 way back. When
And
we was
Joseph
young
is on
bucks,
the organ now, right?
right? So Joseph is playing the organ now. Johnny is
Johnny
playing
is on the
drums.
bass.
I mean, so this is when Cats was still playing. Julius was still playing drums. Now he's playing keys. So everybody is kind of gravitating to these other areas now. And now it's just crazy. But yeah, that summer at being 16, like literally, and then I went from there into Oakland Tech's drumline. So like between them two encounters, like it was, man.
We're not
Listen,
gonna talk about Oakland Tech's drum line.
oh my goodness, listen.
We're not gonna talk about Oakland Tech's drum line. God, if we have to talk about Oakland Tech's drum line, I need to tell y'all something.
Oh my goodness.
They had to make a decision at Oakland Tech if they were gonna have cheerleaders or if they were gonna have a band to play during the day. So they went with the cheerleaders for the football game. Well, I went to one of the football games and I was like, this is boring. So the very next football game, Dominique had a snare drum. He had drums here. And so I took the snare drum in the gift bag and took a pair of his drumsticks. And they were like, where are you going? I said, I'm going to the football game. So they said, not with that snare. Oh, yes, I am. Because we got to have some drumming going on
Listen.
at this football game. And so nobody in my family wanted to sit next to me.
Oh.
So I went to the top of the bleachers. and I pulled. I got my section together, got it all situated, pulled that snare drum out, and got the sticks together tight. And when I tell you, I started beating that snare drum, the people that was down by the cheerleaders, these that weren't cheerleaders, they all came up where I was. And I started with dum 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 dum. Listen, they started making up cheers. Everybody was rocking. Now my youngest son was on the football team. So now the football team is rocking and geeking on the sideline. So then somebody said, whose mama is that? It's an echo with my phone. So I need to take the mic off. I need to stop talking on the mic. My studio man said it's an echo with the mic on.
Oh,
All right. I'm really sad because I really want to use my mic.
you and this mic.
But anyway, so they asked who it was, and they said, that's Gray Mama. And from then on, I played that drum at every game. Every home game, every away game, and all of the other. I played for every football game. One of the players' mothers had a tambourine.
Uh-oh.
So we was the band, okay, for the high school. Because
Oh, that was my. I just thought about it. That was my blue D drum snare I had that I bought from Guitar Center, and I was trying to figure out like why does that snare look weird in my head? Because that was one of the. That snare was one of those like 13 by 8.5 snare. It was like a deep snare, dude. It was crazy. But yeah, no,
I was a drummer. I even went to the Silver Bowl
Oh my goodness,
at Lady College with that snare drum.
that don't make no
Sheesh,
sense.
Super Bowl.
That don't make no sense whatsoever.
Y'all probably played Skyline.
No, I
Or
think
was
they
it?
played Mac.
It was either Skyline or Mac.
Yeah, that
I
was
think they played Mac. Yeah,
Yep.
that was
It
fun.
was one or the other. It was one or the other.
Ain't nobody else tapping in there.
No, and everybody seemed to be. I mean, it's all good. We was just doing this to have some fun anyway.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, no, it's ain't nobody else to come. Ain't nobody else here. They
They
everybody
scared.
act like they scared to talk. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong.
I would
And I
send a
mean,
link
all we
out. How
gonna
you
do
send
is
a
tell
link?
you. Listen, all you do is click the link in on my page, like
Oh, okay,
on the
like how I do
stream. You basically you look at the video. The link is sitting right there,
Mm-hmm.
so people will be able to tap in. But it's good. I mean, I'm just trying to have some fun and have an interactive conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like and talk about journals and music and stuff. I guess everybody needs to be formal now to be online.
Now the
So
studio production team is telling me it's not the same, so it's still a little echoey.
well, you might have to turn your volume down.
So let me do that, sir, because it's probably on a million. Oh, it's down.
The studio production team. There they go.
It's down.
Yeah,
It's
mine is
still
down
echoing.
too. So I don't know. I don't know what's wrong.
Well, praise God.
Praise the
Nevertheless,
mighty name of
we
our
give
God.
God praise.
Listen,
We give God glory. We give God honor. And I even brought my purple cup because purple was the background. You know, I got to represent. Y'all play too much.
You're royal today.
Come
well,
on.
since you want purple, we gonna go ahead and
That's what
change
I'm
it.
doing. You have the purple background, so I have to
Praise
represent.
God.
You know,
That was
There you
from the
go.
teach. That was from the teaching I did last night, and I just liked the background, so I just left it. About invasion, right? But no, I mean it's yeah, no, it's a cool experience basically to come out with some music, and
how does
to
that
do
make you
something.
feel, sir?
I mean, honestly, for me right now, it feels like it's a part of like the grand scheme of things in a sense.
You and Justin, for that matter.
You said what?
Facts.
I said you and Justin coming out with music. How y'all feeling about that?
Honestly, for me, it's it's dope to do it with family. You feel me? Like it makes the experience way different because it's like now you put yourself in a category where you're doing it with the people you rock with anyway, and like it makes it even more fun because now it's like now we pushing each other.
Facts.
So where it'll be like, bro, I'm kind of through with this music thing. It ain't panning out. Like I don't really care for it because I was there at one point. Probably when I was like 19, 20, I was like, listen, okay, this don't seem to be paying no bills. The Saints keep promising a check and it ain't showed up yet. And so like I need like I need something because I'm sweating out all of my clothes driving home on E, serving the Lord, like trying to pay these bills, and it's not panning out. So let me go on over here and I mean, I was already working at the time, but it's just a principle. Like you trying to figure it out. But now to be in a place where it's like, okay, well, let's level things up and let's take things to another level in life and just with music. Period. I mean, we already know what time it is as far as me and Bishop Basic. You feel me? But
Bishop
nah,
Basic. Yeah.
right.
Back to
But nah,
basics.
it's dope to do it with family. And like I'm excited to even like expand and start collaborating with other people that's a part of the crew, really and truly. And outside of that, of course, but because we all in at the end of the day are we all love God and we all love music, and so I mean you can't throw it away.
Right.
It
Well, for
ain't
me,
going nowhere.
but
So
but check this out. I'm sitting here listening to you talk because I have to go. I have another thing I have to go to. But anyway,
hmm
um, it just brought back the idea when you said, you were 19 or whatever. Well, when I started doing this thing called music, I mean, I started singing when I was like 4. I had my first playing gig at the age of 12,
hmm hmm
playing for Sunday school, getting a $50 check to play for
Right.
Sunday school
Right.
Sheesh.
at the age of 12. And I just played one song. When all the classes was coming back together, I played the Sunday school song when everybody was coming from all the different directions in the building at Ephesians Church of God in Christ.
Wow.
That was my job, and they gave me a check for $50. And then I would leave from there and go to my uncle's church when he started Refreshing Fountain and daddy wasn't there or what have you. And I would go over and play, and I would make $75 playing for him. So I was clocking $125 on a Sunday, 12 and 13 and 14 years old.
Hmm.
Right. So this has been working for me all these years. Literally. I've held other jobs and I've done other things, but I want to say before I get off of here that when you use your gifts for God, your gifts, I'm saying more than one, will make room for you and bring you before great men. And many times we equate great men with people that's already up there. I'm gonna leave this thought with you in this nugget. There are some great men that got deep pockets that will give you everything that you need. So don't go looking for the typical people that everybody else is always trying to run to, because God got some new money. All right, I'm out. I'm out. That's all I got to say to y'all.
You supposed to
And
be.
go for it and be blessed. Rhythmic, radical,
I'm
and
just
basic.
saying.
That's right.
Basic
See,
Rhythmic,
J.
radical, basic, J88. Is that what that's like?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, y'all go forth and be blessed, because God got some good money and some new money and some new people that y'all don't really know, because everybody else that could have flown into y'all didn't. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I'll come back to another show with that.
how you going? We'll just. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Plant seed and leave.
God got some people with some new money for y'all with y'all name on it. So y'all keep pressing, keep doing what y'all doing, and I'm telling you, it's gonna come forth sooner than y'all think. But don't get lazy.
No.
Stay on top of your
Yes,
game.
ma'am.
Do
Yes,
what you
ma'am.
got to do, because all you got people watching and y'all don't even know they watching.
hmm
Hmm.
So you can't get lazy. You can't be arrogant. You can't do all of that because you don't want to blow the blessings that God got for you. Ask
See
me
how
how,
this.
because it's a lot of people sitting on the sidelines with you. So you
Listen,
just
I
go
I know
that's
I know you I know you getting
all
ready
up.
I know you getting ready to get off of here, but the irony is as soon as you started prophesying on here, now here come everybody. Like, bro, what's like what just happened? I've been sitting up here for like 20 minutes. Like, okay, well, I guess nobody had nothing to say. Like,
That's all
everybody
I'm
chilling.
saying.
It's cool.
So
Like,
y'all go
we'll
forth and
do it
do that.
again. You know what I'm saying? We'll
Right.
we'll make
Well,
we'll make a
I got
church
2 more minutes.
announcement.
I got 2 more minutes. But
We'll,
like for real, listen, I'm telling y'all, because this is a season that God is
I said clearly.
exposing people for who and what they really are and the posture of their heart. People, there are some people that don't care. They gonna do whatever because that's all they know. But
Mhm.
God has postured some people to have a heart for Him that will do this thing called music, Isaiah. That will
Mhm.
do this
Mhm.
thing called music
Mhm.
and won't worry about what the people have to say. That will do what God has ordained them to do, regardless. And watch God bust moves and do things that you least expect. And it's gonna come from people sometimes that you don't even know.
Mhm. Mhm.
Ask me how I know.
Mhm.
I've met so many people just by showing up. I showed up at Dr. Martin Luther King's new church when I was in Atlanta for the Kojic Leadership Convention, and it was supposed to been I was supposed to be one of 3 or 4 singers that was supposed to sing at this service, and it ended up that I was the only singer that showed up.
Hmm.
So I ended up having to sing twice. They had somebody else to sing as well. I was the only one of the singers, the group. So the lady said, "So you gonna have to sing. What you gonna sing, ma'am?" I don't know what I'm gonna sing right now because I'm nervous. Because we're at this brand new church, and the old church is the museum across the street.
Hmm.
This is my first time ever being here, so I'm already in awe, looking at all the things in the vestibule. And now I have to go stand in this pulpit where the now senator of Georgia is the pastor. Mhm. I stood in that pulpit and sang a few years ago in January. Don't
That was
tell me,
Warnock, wasn't it? Raphael Warnock, wasn't it?
huh?
Was that when you sung at Raphael Warnock? Was that the same time when you sung
Yeah,
at Warnock's church?
yeah,
Wow.
yes,
And he's a state senator now.
that's
Now
right.
what's funny is Elijah Baker, E.B. Baker.
Yep,
He said that a lot of people have been saying he looks like Raphael Warnock. So I said congratulations, Senator, on his comments the
I'm
other
not playing with you.
day.
So you just never know how God will open a door for you
Yeah,
even
absolutely.
in a moment because you showed up. It's
Yep.
important to show up. It's
Yep.
important not to leave people hanging.
Yep.
And when you come, be prepared. Even if you ain't on, always be prepared, musician. Always
Hmm.
be prepared. You just never know. You might have to learn the song on the spot. Play that mug like you wrote it.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Move your head, get in it, even if you're trying to figure it out. Groove as you go, but play that thing. And I'm telling you, tell them kids to be quiet in the background in a minute. All right.
Mhm.
I got to go, Saints. I got work to do. Y'all be careful.
You didn't want
All
to
Don't
run
right.
start
12
with this,
minutes
Saints.
on here.
All right, being sober.
Okay.
Y'all say what's at your feet, not sit.
Uh-uh.
Because
What you say?
some of y'all need to eat some mints while you got your mask on. Shouldn't smell your breath in line at the
It's all
grocery
good.
store. All right, I got to go.
Okay, now listen. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back on live at 8 p.m. tonight,
Oh Lord.
and we're gonna do this same. We're gonna have the same conversation. But listen, Isaiah, Hunter, Romero, y'all, whoever wants to come on, y'all can come on. All you got to do is tap the link for StreamYard. Come back for 8 o'clock. We'll be back, and we'll do that. We'll re Andy this conversation for everybody who's on right now. Tune back in at 8. We did this on the pop up fashion. We didn't have no preconceived, flyers and nothing else the case may be. But yeah, we got that going at 8 p.m. tonight, so y'all can tap back in with us, and we'll re-engage this conversation, and we'll even go into more detail about which platforms, how to get into them, what to do, how much they cost, all of that. If y'all got questions, inbox me. It's all good. Y'all already know that I'm one of the probably few people who would just give it away for free. Everybody be getting on my case, like stop talking so much, stop giving it all away, shut up. People need to pay, and I'm like, listen, people need to know so they can level up and better their lives. So that's what it is. So I'll see y'all back at 8, and we'll chime in then. I can't talk for some reason. I don't know what just happened, but
Hey,
y'all pray for me as I go stronger in the Lord in the back of my throat in
Huh?
Jesus'
Justin,
name.
go get you some
Yep.
chicken.
God bless you.
Huh?
Go get you some chicken, Justin.
Baked, preferably.
All right.
All
Wait,
right.
what just happened? All
Hey,
right, y'all. We
All
out.
right.
I'm about to play the outro, and we gone. I'll see y'all at 8.
All right.
God bless you. Yep, that ain't the outro though.